Imagine you're standing on a busy street corner, and a matte black supercar pulls up next to you. The engine is roaring like a hungry lion, the rims are shining like a million diamonds, and everyone on the sidewalk is staring. You look at the driver and think, wow, that person has finally made it. They are living the ultimate dream. But what if I told you there is a possibility that the shiny car isn't a trophy? What if I told you it's actually a high-tech money vampire that is slowly sucking the life out of their future? You see, most people spend their entire lives working like a dog just to pay for a seat in a fancy car that loses value faster than a spoiled carton of milk. This is the luxury trap, a forensic mystery that keeps millions of people broke while they look rich. Today, we are going to perform a complete financial autopsy on the biggest lie you've ever been told, which is that your car is an asset. The truth is, your car is likely the #1 reason you'll still be working a boring job when you're 65. Welcome to the breakdown of the automobile heist. To understand this heist, we have to look at the psychology of the status symbol. Why do we feel the need to spend $800 a month on a depreciating asset? The answer is, humans are tribal creatures. We are hardwired to signal our rank to the rest of the pack. In the past, you signaled status with a bigger tent or more cattle. Today, we use a German-engineered supercar. But the reality is, you are spending future you's freedom to buy present you's ego. When you buy a luxury car, you are buying a social mask. The problem is, that mask is made of gold, but the strings holding it up are made of your life energy. It goes without saying that most people understand that cars lose value, but they don't grasp the superlative violence of the math. A new luxury car loses about 60% of its value in 5 years. If you buy an $80,000 car, $48,000 of your hard-earned money simply vanishes into thin air. That's nearly $10,000 a year, roughly $800 a month, just for the privilege of owning the car. This is, without loss of generality, an opportunity cost. If you took that $800 a month and put it into an S&P 500 index fund starting at age 20, by the time you're 40, you'd have nearly $500,000. By 60, you'd have over $3 million. When you look at it from this perspective, you'll realize that the car didn't cost you $80,000. It cost you a multi-million-dollar retirement. You are literally burning a mansion to stay warm in a driveway. However, the depreciation of luxury cars should actually be the least of your worries. Do you know that luxury cars are a high-maintenance diva? The parts are proprietary, the labor is specialized, and the sensors are fragile. These cars are engineered for planned obsolescence. They are built to work perfectly for the first 3 years, the lease period, and then fall apart like a house of cards the moment the warranty expires. We also have to look at the insurance and tax black hole. This is the ghost cost. A more expensive car means higher registration fees, higher property taxes, and significantly higher insurance premiums. Because the parts are expensive to replace, the insurance company charges you a luxury tag every single month. Over 10 years, these microleaks can add up to the price of a second car. When you analyze this through a forensic lens, you realize that for every dollar you spend on the car, you're spending another 50 cents just for the right to keep it in your driveway. It's a subscription to poverty that you signed up for voluntarily. Then there's the interest rate trap. This one is very tricky because it makes you focus on the monthly payment instead of the total cost of capital. If you finance a $60,000 car at 7% interest over 72 months, you aren't paying $60,000. You're paying over $73,000. That $13,000 difference is dead money. It provides you zero value, zero joy, and zero transportation. It's a gift you are giving to the bank's shareholders. We have become a payment society. We ask, can I afford the $900 a month, instead of asking, is this machine worth 1,500 hours of my life? When you calculate your real hourly wage, which is how much you make after taxes and expenses, you'll find that many people work from January to March just to pay for the car that gets them to work. It's a financial Mobius strip. You're working to pay for the car, but you only need the car to get to the work. This brings us to the social media illusion. We live in a world where everyone is trying to keep up with the Joneses, but the secret is the Joneses are completely broke. They are drowning in debt to maintain an image of success. Every time you see a flex on TikTok involving an expensive steering wheel logo, you have to ask, does that person own the car or does the bank own that person? Most people are debt slaves in designer clothes. They are living large on the outside while their bank accounts are starving on the inside. To escape the luxury trap, you have to change your eye for value. You have to stop seeing a car as a statement and start seeing it as a tool. A hammer is a tool. You don't buy a $500 gold-plated hammer to hit a nail. You buy the $10 one that works. The same way, instead of buying a German or Italian-engineered supercar, you buy a reliable, boring car, say a 10-year-old Toyota or Honda, with cash. Emphasis on cash. A deeper, more radical method is geo-arbitrage and micro-mobility. What if you didn't need a car at all? Critically analyze your life. Do you live in a place where you can use an e-bike, a scooter, or public transit? The car-free life is the ultimate retirement hack. By eliminating the car, you eliminate the largest expense in most households besides rent. If you save $10,000 a year by not owning a car, you can shave 10 to 15 years off your working life. It's a hypothetical freedom that becomes very real when you see your savings rate explode. For those who must drive something nice, use the used luxury loophole. Wait for the hype train to leave the station. Buy the luxury car when it is 5 years old, has a full service history, and has already lost the bulk of its value. You get 90% of the status for 30% of the price. But even then, you must have a maintenance sinking fund ready so that a repair doesn't send you back into debt. The goal is to own the car, not let the car own you. Which is why the car should never cost more than 10% of your annual income. If you make $50,000 a year, you should be driving a $5,000 car. If you want a $50,000 car, you'd better be making $500,000 a year. But the luxury trap tricks people into spending 50 or 100% of their yearly income on a car, which is a financial suicide. Let's look at the emotional angle. Why do we want that supercar? Usually because we are bored or unhappy with our 9-to-5. We buy the shiny toy as a reward for our suffering. This is the consumerist feedback loop. The car makes you feel good for a week, then the new car smell fades, the first scratch happens, and you're back to being unhappy, but now you're unhappy with $50,000 less in your pocket. To break this, you need vantage sensitivity. You need to realize that the high of a new car is a chemical trick in your brain. The car industry spends billions of dollars every year on brainwashing you. They use commercials with beautiful people on open roads to make you think a car will make you happy. But happiness isn't a leather seat. Happiness is autonomy. Happiness is knowing that if you don't want to go to work tomorrow, you don't have to. A car is just shiny handcuffs. It locks you into a life of survival mode. To break the cycle, you have to ask yourself, who are you trying to impress? If you're trying to impress people at a red light whom you will never see again, you are playing a losing game. Most people don't look at a guy in a Ferrari and think, he's cool. They look at the car and think, I wish I had that car. Nobody is actually looking at you. You are spending your retirement to be a prop in someone else's daydream. Stop being a customer of the system and start being the owner of your future. If this financial truth bomb woke you up, like this video to show the world you're choosing freedom over flexing, and subscribe so we can keep sharpening your forensic money skills. Comment below with the boring car you'd be willing to drive if it meant you could retire 10 years early.